So, I wanted to talk about how the parents generally stay at home while deaf students are in an institute. And usually, deaf girls, or any girls really, at night are in their bed and they'll be texting under the covers and they'll just be texting and on social media. And sometimes they feel pressured and scared to text when they know they're not supposed to or get on the phone. And I think that girls' development to keep friends is very important, and that parents should be included in that. And I mean, it's tough for girls sometimes. Sometimes girls are involved in cyberbullying, some of them, but boys, I'm not really sure. Girls who are involved in cyberbullying usually use email, instant messaging, and that's generally girls are 2 times more likely to be involved in cyberbullying than boys. Boys don't really IM or email, but they're usually bullied through games, video games. They'll make a character and feel free because people don't know who I am, and then they will cyberbully that way. And guys will steal passwords too. But those are the two different comparisons. Parents, schools, people who work with children, they generally look away from that. And you can't do that. Our children need our help. They do. Many adults grow up without didn't have internet as they grew up. So their parents didn't teach them how to do that because all of this technology is new. And so they just look away, and then the children feel isolated and alone. Parents will talk about sex, and schools will talk about sex and alcohol and driving. But the internet's not, but it should be involved. Schools need to teach more about computers, how to use them, and they don't teach it enough. How to be safe on the internet as well. Different rules, respect, all of that's very important. There's many actions that we could teach. Counselors and various different people will teach this, but in the classroom, they won't. Our computers are better where parents could see. So maybe in an office, maybe anywhere public. Other suggestions are to limit them every day, maybe an hour or less than an hour every day for your kids. Maybe for research or homework, it's different. But hanging out with friends or talking to friends, 1 hour is enough. If they need a software, they can upload that. Make sure that it's a good software. Make sure they're not going out and meeting random people and make sure everything's appropriate. And maybe eventually they'll let you see what everything's talking about. Make sure that the conversations are safe, email, the IMs. Make sure everything's appropriate. If you notice there is cyberbullying, just bring it up and make sure that nothing physical is happening. and do your research and find out who is that and make sure um, nothing's happening because it is a crime. If the bully is mean and just rude, try to ignore them or talk about the actions. But if you ignore, sometimes they give up and sometimes they don't. Sometimes bullies want to see your reaction. If you're angry and want you to get involved in the conversation and yell back so that that can continue. So sometimes that makes things worse. Sometimes it's better to ignore and not get involved in it. You could block them on email or blogs. You can pick who you want to be friends with. If they don't have a connection with you, you can just kick them off or block them. You can decide that. Don't ever quit your vlog because of a bully. Make sure you just kick them off because then they're taking your power away. Deaf Read is an awesome place to introduce children to the internet. It helps children understand how the internet works. You can find your favorite newsfeed, things that are funny, discussions. Some are appropriate, some are good conversations to have with them. Just take a look at that. It's not for punishment, but just making sure everything's appropriate and to have them understand cyberbullying. If you want to set up your own blog or blog, that'd be awesome. There's so many opportunities, but make sure to take care of that. Make sure people who are older in the right age groups are watching your vlog depending on what you're saying, what you're talking about, making sure it's appropriate. And if it's appropriate enough for a child, if not, you should probably not have them on there. And make sure people aren't bullying other people. And even if they have a disagreement, that's different than actually bullying. Maybe many people didn't grow up with the internet, and some people don't know the rules. But our children and the next generation and the future generations can get help and have a better future for them.